welcome back to Accounting with Miss G, and today we're going to be looking at the effects of the accounting equation for grade 8s. So before we jump into it, I just want to explain to you a really important principle that I teach my classes. It's something that we call dead click. And basically what it does is it tells you which account increases on which side. So in accounting we have a debit side and we have a credit side. So we know that our debtors, expenses, assets and drawings increase on the debit side, and our creditors, liabilities, income and capital increase on the credit side. So one of the most important assets that we have in accounting, for example, is your bank account, money that you have in the bank. So if you're writing bank on the debit side, you're telling me it's increasing. If you're writing it on the credit side, you're telling me it's decreasing. If you're writing your liabilities on the credit side, you're telling me your liabilities, like a loan, for example, is going up. If you're writing it on the debit side, you're telling me it's going down. So to know which one increases on which side, I'd really recommend that you just jot down dead click somewhere on your paper and know that debtors, expenses, assets and drawings go up on this side. Creditors, liabilities, income and capital go up on this side. For grade 8 though, you don't really do debtors and creditors, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's good to obviously learn the acronym now. Okay, so let's look at how the effects of the accounting equation is done. It's important to know that the accounting equation is assets equals to your owner's equity plus your liabilities. So each one of these transactions has some type of effect on this accounting equation, and you need to show how. So let's look at the scenario. Unam Makau owns the business Sparks Mechanics that services and fixes cars. Complete the effects of the accounting equation for Mrs. Makau. Number A, U Makau paid 150,000 Rand into the bank account as capital contribution. So there are always going to be two accounts that are affected. 99% of the time in grade 8, one of the accounts that is affected is your bank account. The other account is, what did she put money into the account for? She put it in for capital. Alright, so let's work through the first one. So number A, the journal they're wanting to know is it a CRJ? Has the business received money? Or is it a CPJ? Has the business paid money? So although it's the owner that's paying money, it's from the business's perspective. So the business is receiving money from Mrs. Makau. So it's a CRJ. Is your bank going up or down if they're putting 150,000 Rand in? Your bank is going up. Now we know that bank is an asset, the most important asset, and your assets go up on the debit side, and your assets go down on the credit side. So if we know that our bank went up, which account or which column are we going to put it in? We're going to put it in the debit side. Bank always increases on the debit side. What was the other account? The other account was capital, so we're going to put that one over there. Your capital is also increasing, and it increases on the credit side, so that's perfect. And then because we know bank is an asset, and you said it's going up, your asset column is going to go up, so you're going to write a plus sign, and the amount is 150,000. Now capital, you might struggle to identify where it belongs. Now there's a little bit of a trick to that. Just remember the word DAS. So DAS affects your owner's equity. So that's your drawings, your income, your capital, and your expenses all affect your owner's equity. Your drawings and expenses have a negative effect, and your income and your capital have a positive effect on the business. Okay, so capital is one of the parts of DAS, and it has a positive effect, so it's going to be positive 150,000. Your liabilities are naught. So if we look at the accounting equation, assets equals to owner's equity plus liabilities. If I add up plus 150,000 plus dololo, it's going to give me 150,000. So I know that it's correct. Let's look at the next one. Spark Stores received 6,500 Rand for services rendered. So that is the one account. And the other account, because you're receiving money, is bank. We don't call it services rendered though when we're talking about accounts. We call it current income. So if you are selling a service, we call it current income. If you're selling a physical product like highlighters or a ruler, we call it sales. Okay, so if you receive 6,500, it's going to be a CRJ. What's happening to your bank account? If you're receiving money, it's going up, so debit side. Then you write the account on the other side, current income. But we also know that current income is an income, and that's also increasing. So we know it's on the right side. But my suggestion is just figure out where bank goes and then fill in the other column. So if I draw these two lines over here, where account debit and account credit is, we're looking for the account names. No numbers must be written here. Numbers are only written in these three columns. Okay, so bank, which is an asset, is going up by 6,500. And current income, which is an income, is going to also positively affect your owner's equity because your owner's making money. Next one, Yumakawu took trading stock to the value of 1,200 Rand for personal use. Okay, so we know we don't call it personal use, we call it drawings. In other words, if an owner takes anything out of the business for their own personal use, we call it drawings. Excuse me. And then putting money into it, we call it capital. So now you'll notice that bank isn't being affected. But if we look at these two, which one is the asset? So when in doubt, figure out which one's the asset. Trading stock is the asset. If you're taking trading stock out of the business, your trading stock is going down. So let's say, for example, I run Kirsty's Cookies and I decide to take 2 highlighters for my child for school. The trading stock, the money, the items that I'm using in my business and I sell to my customers, if I'm taking them out, making your trading stock go down. So trading stock is an asset and it's going down. So it's going to go on the credit side. What is the other account? Drawings. You'll see I've put a black block here. You won't need to know the journal for that. This is a very, very higher order thinking question. Very unlikely that you'll stumble across these often. Most of the time, as I say, we deal always with bank. So trading stock is the asset. You said it's going down. So your asset column is going to be minus 1,200. And drawings negatively affects the owner by 1,200, and that's naught. Alright, Spark Stores paid the municipality 190 Rand for electricity and water. So one of the accounts, because you're paying for something, it's going to be bank. But now because the business is paid, it's going to be a CPJ, cash payments journal. Is your bank going up or down if you paid? It's going down, debit or credit, credit side. And what did you pay for? Electricity and water, or water and electricity. You must be specific about the type of expense because that's an expense. Your bank is going down by 190 Rand. And water and electricity, which is an expense, has a negative effect on the owner. Okay. The business bought 3,000 Rands worth of stationery. So if you bought something, paid for it, you're going to have bank as one of their accounts. CRJ or CPJ, it's a CPJ because you paid for something. You paid for stationery. What's happening to your bank account? Bank is going down, so it's going to go on the credit side. Stationery is going to go on the debit side, and stationery is an expense. Bank being the asset is going down, you said, so it's minus 3,000. And stationery, which is an expense, has a negative effect on the owner. Next one, Sparks Stores bought a new business vehicle to the value of 400,000 Rand. So because they paid for it now, it's going to affect their bank. And they bought a vehicle. Alright, so it is going to be a CPJ. Bank is going down, so debit or credit. Bank goes down on the credit side. What did you pay for? What did you purchase? A vehicle. Bank's the asset. Vehicle is also an asset. So if we look at this, what's happening is your bank account is going down because you've purchased a car, but your bank's going down by 400,000. But now your asset column is also going up because you've purchased a vehicle for 400,000. So if I'm going to use these colors over here, your bank is the minus amount over there, and your vehicle is the positive amount. So you're taking your one asset and converting it into another asset. So it's plus minus. So minus 400,000 plus 400,000 is going to give you naught. So this is naught and this is naught. Remember, so that the accounting equation works out. Naught plus naught equals naught. Minus and plus equals naught. So it works out. Number G. The business made 7,000 Rand for services rendered. Okay, we've done something like that already. So you've made money, so it's affecting your bank and current income. CRJ or CPJ, it's a CRJ. You're receiving money, so your bank is going to go up. What is the other account? Current income. And bank, which is the asset, is going to be increasing by 7,000 Rand. And current income, so income has a positive effect on the owner. Liabilities is naught. Next one, Spark Stores paid 4,000 Rand for consumables. So that's number H. If you paid for consumables, consumables is an expense. And so the other account, if you're paying for it, is going to be bank again. Bank going up or down. So it's a CPJ because you paid. Bank going up or down. Bank's going down because you've paid for something. And your consumables will go on that side. Bank, which is the asset, is going down, we said, by 4,000. And consumables, which is an expense, has a negative effect on the owner. Liability is 0. The business bought equipment to the value of 9,000 Rand. So if you're paying for it, that's bank. CRJ or CPJ, it's a CPJ because you've purchased it. What's happening to your bank account if you've bought something? It's going down. And your equipment is going to go in this column. Now, bank is an asset and equipment is an asset. So just like this one over here. So if they are both assets, your bank is going down by 9,000 and your equipment is going up by 9,000. Naught and naught. So you're always going to write an amount in twice, either in different columns or it could be in the same column like this. So just to show, your equipment has gone up and your bank has gone down. And because they are both assets, they're both affecting your assets column. Next one is J. The business bought trading stock for 9,000 Rand. So that's also going to be a CPJ. You purchased trading stock. So the other account's going to be bank. Bank going up or down. It's going to go down because you purchased something. What was it that you purchased? You purchased trading stock, and trading stock is an asset that's increasing on the debit side. So if this is an asset and this is an asset, we can have the same thing. Bank going down by 9,000 for trading stock and up by 9,000. Naught and naught for owner's equity and liabilities. The business received money for rent of property. Tenant paid 2,500. So they've received money for rent, and the other account will be bank. So if you receive money for rent, it is going to be a CRJ. Your bank is going to go up because you're receiving money. Remember, bank is an asset. It's increasing on this side. And the other account is rent income because you are receiving money for rent. So the money is coming in. Bank is an asset, so it's going to have a positive of 2,500. And rent income is an income, so it's going to have a positive of 2,500. Liabilities is naught. Business paid rent to the owner for 4,500. So now we're paying for rent. The opposite thing is going to happen. The other account is bank. So now it's a CPJ. If you're paying, your bank is going down. Why is it going down? Because of rent. Now it's not income this time, it's rent expense. Bank, which is an asset, is going down by 4,500, and rent expense has a negative effect on your owner. Liabilities are going to be naught. So you might wonder, like, when does it actually affect liabilities? I'm going to give you a scenario here just to show you. Let me see if I have actually, even if I show you on a grade 9. Okay, so let me show you these. This is a grade 9 activity, but loan is also very important. So I'm going to just do these two, C, and I'm going to do, where's the other one? I'm sure there's another one. Because here they paid towards a loan, and here they received a loan, number H. Okay, so same thing. You paid 4,000 Rand towards a loan to Standard Bank. So it's bank is the one account, and the other account is loan. Is it a CRJ or a CPJ? It's a CPJ. They're not asking for that in this activity. They didn't say anything about a journal because it's a cash payments journal. So you don't have to fill that in if it gives it to you like that. Okay, so if you have paid towards a loan, CPJ, your bank is going down. So remember, assets go up this side, down this side. So bank is going to go over there. Your loan is going to go on the debit side. So because bank is an asset and loan is a liability, the effect it's going to have on your accounting equation is your bank is going down by 4,000, and your liabilities are also going to go down by 4,000. Because if you had a loan with Standard Bank and you paid 4,000 Rand now, your bank's going down, but the amount of money that you owe them has also decreased. So as you're paying for a loan, the total amount that you owe them is going to go down. And so just also remember the accounting equation, assets equals to owner's equity plus liabilities. So minus 4,000 is equal to naught plus minus 4,000. So they are equal. We could then ask you, received a loan from Absa Bank worth 60,000 Rand. Sorry, I wrote this actually in the wrong place, but that's number C. Let's just do H below. You received a loan from Absa Bank worth 60,000 Rand. So now it's a loan. The other account is bank. And it's a CRJ because you're receiving money. Don't worry about having to pay it back. What happened? You received money. If you're receiving money from the bank, your bank from Absa Bank, your personal work bank account is going up. Your bank this time is going up, and your loan is increasing as well, because now you're owing more money. How much was the loan? 60,000 Rand. So they received 60,000 Rand into their bank account, and now they are liable to pay back that 60,000 Rand. They are responsible to have to pay it back over time. But we're just looking at this transaction. So your bank's gone up by 60,000, and your liabilities, how much you are responsible to pay back, has increased by 60,000, and your owner's equity is 0. So just to quickly recap and to have a look, when doing effects of the accounting equation, just make sure that you jot down dead click so that you know that your debtors, expenses, assets, and drawings go on the debit side, or increase on the debit side, I should say. Your creditors, liabilities, income, and capital increase on the credit side. The most important asset you'll have to know is bank, and then identify what is happening to your bank. If your bank is increasing, it's going to go on the debit side. If your bank is decreasing, it's going to go on the credit side. Then just fill in the other accounts in the missing column, depending on what it is that you are receiving money or paying money for. Is it for capital? Is it for stationery, consumables, equipment, rent income? And you'll just fill that in. Just one last trick to have a look at. If it's a CRJ, you'll notice CRJ, 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 CRJ. So all those 4 CRJs, bank is always on this side. Whereas if it's a CPJ, all of those, bank is always looked on this side. CPJ, there's bank and there's bank. Okay, that's also bank there, those two. Because what you're saying is the business is paying, so the bank is going down. If the business is receiving, the bank has to be going up. So just the most very, very important to realize what is happening to the business bank account. And when in doubt, just imagine that you are this business owner. Imagine that you are Unamakawu, who owns Sparks Mechanics. And read the question and think, okay, if the business bought, so if I'm the business and I bought something, what is happening to my bank? It's going down. Okay. If I'm the business and I have received money for doing a service, what's happening to my bank account? It's going up. So accounting can be quite practical. It's important to just think carefully about what it is that they're saying. And when in doubt, just imagine yourself in that situation. But George, I really hope that helped with regards to the effects of the accounting equation and that you'll remember it. Just remember dead click, don't forget DAS, and take it one step at a time. You got this.